What if I told you that the very clan destined to bring down the celestial dragons was also the reason the ancient kingdom fell? In a shocking twist, the D clan, once believed to be united against evil, might have always been divided. And this division? It may have doomed the world once and threatens to do it again. Welcome back, One Piece fans. In today's video, we're diving deep into one of the most chilling possibilities revealed in the final saga, the idea that not all D are created equal. We know Luffy, Dragon, and Garp as symbols of hope and rebellion, but lurking on the opposite end is Marshall D. Teach, a man who embodies chaos and treachery. Could the rivalry between Luffy and Blackbeard be a reflection of an ancient schism that tore the D clan apart centuries ago? As Vegapunk's final message echoes through the world and Elbaf's ancient lore begins to unravel, we may be on the verge of learning the true reason the ancient kingdom fell, and it might not be what you think. The D clan has both good and bad. Luffy and the Monkey D family are generally kind, while Blackbeard represents an evil D. When it comes to the D family, not everyone is friendly and helpful. Fans know that the series' protagonist, Luffy, is a kind-hearted person who frequently cares about those around him and assists anyone in need. Luffy's father, the Revolutionary Dragon, is conducting a revolt against the world government, and Garp has used his own justice to defeat several terrible pirates. They do, however, just represent one side of the D coin. Fans are aware that the D clan also has bad members. Marshall D. Teach is one such character, and fans know he is really nasty. Everything about him is the complete opposite of what Luffy represents, and Oda has presented him as extremely nasty. Similarly, there is Rocks, who has been depicted negatively thus far, but regardless of his personality, Teach is, at the very least, good evidence that D has never been united. The rivalry of the D in the past, of One Piece, the D might have always had two sides. Oda frequently draws comparisons between the new and old eras of the One Piece world, and by this logic, it is logical to believe that he might have done the same with those who came before Luffy. For example, Roger came before Luffy and rivaled Rocks, possibly in the same way that Luffy rivaled Blackbeard. Long before that, two individuals, neither of whom was verified to be D, competed in identical ways. These could have existed during the Void Century. Fans are aware that Joy Boy was alive during this period, but little is known about his D opponent. Undoubtedly, Joy Boy had a rival during the Void Century, and it is possible that the two had a disagreement over their ideas, just as Luffy and Blackbeard are polar opposites. Why there needs to be unity. In the D, the phrase, "the two will never meet again," holds significance. Oda frequently asserts in the Harley that the two will never meet again, signifying a divide or separation. This division could be directly linked to the D clan. Perhaps, much as Noland and Calgara were separated long ago, the D rivals, one of whom was Joy Boy, were also divided, which could explain why the ancient kingdom fell a lack of togetherness. Perhaps the only way for Luffy to defeat the celestial dragons is to fight alongside all the others, even Blackbeard. Luffy and Blackbeard will never agree, and they will never be allies, but both play a crucial role in the final saga, and perhaps only by fighting the shared enemy will Imu be conquered. As One Piece's final saga progresses, fans will undoubtedly learn more about the disloyal D and how they parted long ago. At the same time, Oda is obligated to focus on the relationship between Luffy and Blackbeard. Summary and highlights. Not all members of the D clan in One Piece are good. Blackbeard is a definite evil D. The D clan could split into opposing factions, such as Luffy and Blackbeard. The ancient kingdom's downfall may have been caused by the D clan's lack of togetherness during the Void Century. The clash between Luffy and Blackbeard isn't just a battle between pirates. It might be the final act in a tragedy that began during the Void Century. If the D clan remains divided, can the world ever truly be free? Or are we destined to repeat the mistakes of the past? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe the D clan can unite, or is history doomed to repeat itself? Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next deep dive into One Piece's most hidden truths. The final saga is heating up, and we're just getting started. Thank you very much for visiting the Mugiwara Review YouTube channel, buddy. We hope you enjoy our review analysis. Don't forget to subscribe and continue joining us on our joyful journey in the world of anime. If you have any wishes, question, or suggestions for our next videos, feel free to express your thoughts on the comments below. Thank you very much for your support, and until we meet again, see you next time, buddy. What is One Piece anime? One Piece is a manga and anime story about a young boy named Monkey D. Luffy who wants to be the king of the pirates in the world. As a child, he eats a devil fruit, a strange plant that makes him able to stretch like rubber. Before the show starts, Luffy goes out into the world for the first time and starts to gather a group of pirates. The main group grows over time, but it starts with Luffy, Nami the Navigator, and a swordsman named Roronoa Zoro. At some point, Luffy and his friends are known as the Straw Hat Pirates, and they go on many exciting adventures across the ocean. One Piece is a lot of fun because it's silly. Luffy goes from island to island around the world in the series. Each island has its own setting and theme. It's a pretty fantastical world full of animals that look like people, live skeletons, and other delightfully strange things. Within moments, the group is in a winter scene, and the next, they are on a tropical island full of giants. The show is full of silly and bright details. For example, Zoro holds a sword in his mouth, a scary military boss wears a cute bulldog hat, and people don't use phones to talk to each other instead. They use special transponder snails that can send and receive messages. Luffy is a carefree person who just wants to eat a tasty meal and laugh at bad jokes. Even though there are some funny parts in the series, a lot of One Piece is about freedom. During his travels, Luffy often takes up guns to help his friends and encourages others to do the same against pirates and government-backed military occupations. The characters in Luffy and his crew get stronger with each fight, which is typical for shonen manga. A lot of the story is about how Luffy beats a problem that seemed impossible to solve and finds some kind of secret power. After each fight, Luffy and his team get stronger and move closer to his main goal, which is to find the One Piece. Why is it called One Piece? The first part of both the manga and the anime shows that Pirate King Ghoul D. Roger is telling the truth about the mythical wealth called the One Piece. One Piece is the name of the show, because Luffy wants to find the One Piece and become the next Pirate King. One of Luffy's main goals in the show is mentioned in the show's title. What is the One Piece? The answer to this question is still one of the biggest secrets in the series. It's been more than 1,000 episodes, and we still don't know what One Piece is. We know that the One Piece is the name of the treasure that Ghoul D. Roger collected on his travels because of details in the manga. We still don't know a lot about the treasure, though. There are a lot of ideas from fans about what the One Piece is, but we still don't know what it is or even if it's real. The One Piece could just be the friends Luffy makes along the way.